In a world of constant threats, the future of warfighting depends on more than just firepower. It depends on specialized resilience. Welcome to the Resiliency Algorithm, the podcast that unlocks the quantitative and qualitative strategies of the Integrated Prevention and Resilience Office. We're going beyond the headlines, analyzing the numbers, speaking to the airmen.
Can you share a turning point?
And predicting the challenges we're facing in building a force that's not just reactive, but proactive. Join us as we decode the future of resilience, one conversation at a time.
Good morning and welcome back to the Resiliency Algorithm podcast, where we decode the human side of leadership and celebrate the stories that make our airmen and our families resilient and connected and inspired. I'm your host, Darren Powell, the director of the Integrated Prevention and Resiliency Office, and today we are honored to welcome a very special guest, Colonel Shelby Henry, commander of the 622nd Air Base Group here at Joint Base Lewis McChord. Colonel Henry, thank you for joining us. We know your schedule is packed, so we're grateful that you made time for us here today. Our goal with the podcast series is simple: to bridge the gap between leadership and people that they serve. We want to showcase the person behind the rank, the quirks, the lessons, and laughs, and yes, even embarrassing playlist choices. Okay, so let's kick this thing off with something off script. Word around the base is that you're a pretty serious runner, like the kind who wakes up before the sun and actually enjoys it. Can you tell us how that passion started and what your most memorable running moment was?
So good morning. Thank you, Darren, for having me. I appreciate it. And I want to know who the bulls are so I can go back and I'm just kidding. It is a well-known thing that I like to run, and I talk about it a lot, so no surprise there. But so I would say that once upon a time in my life, I was a very serious runner. I ran the Marine Corps Marathon 5 years in a row because my goal was to get into the Runners Club.
Wow.
So if you're unfamiliar with the Marine Corps Marathon, every fifth increment that you do, you get this giant patch. And if you sit at my table in my office, you see under the glass this big yellow bright that says that I welcome into the Runners Club, that I had finished 5 times. And so at the next series, if you do 10 years, you get a 10-year patch, and et cetera, et cetera. And so the goal was, well, one, it was just to one finish one. And then it was okay, well, now I got to be in the Runners Club. But honestly, I hated running. I only ran because the Air Force made me part of, putting on the uniform. And I was always a slow girl in the back. I battled shin splints and stress fractures for a long time. And then I just kind of figured out what finally worked for my body, where running actually became enjoyable versus a chore of torture. And then one deployment, right? What else do? You go to work, you go chow, you go to gym, repeat, right? And so that's one day, one of my teammates was like, "Hey, let's go do the 5K." I'm like, sure. And then we just started doing the 5Ks. And then it was the Shadow half marathon. Literally the night before, she was like, "Let's go do the half marathon." Are you crazy? It's going to be 90 degrees at 4 o'clock in the morning. What else are we going to do? I'm like, good point, right? So got up and went and did the half marathon, and that was kind of it. I could prove to myself that I could do it. And then, so that night went and found a race to sign up for. So when I got back home from deployment, that I would continue to run and not fall off the wagon. And the rest is kind of history. And I think for me, it is just such a way for me to decompress. It's my outlet. It's my time that I can just be in my head and process all the things. And I joke with my team that, constantly the penguins are leaving the iceberg because there's just such a tremendous amount of information that's coming at me all day long. And so this is really the time where I have to myself to just really think about decisions I need to make, areas of improvement that we need to do across a group, or things that we need to get after, or just stuff in my own personal life. It's just like my time with myself to, I guess, a different way of meditating, but that time I take for myself to just reflect on everything that's going on.
I absolutely love that. I do a little running myself, and I can relate to everything you said. Now we all know that a good workout playlist can make a a break or run. But let's be honest, we've all got that one song that's a little questionable. So, Colonel, what is the most embarrassing song on your workout playlist?
So I don't have an embarrassing song. I stand by all my choices that are on my playlist. Some that I don't even remember that are there, but so I actually pulled up my playlist to kind of look through, because I'm like, I don't know, I don't remember, because I just hear them and it's just it's on autopilot. But I would say that probably "Blowing Up My Love" by JC Chavez. It was a Backstreet Boy, I think, or is he NSYNC? I don't know. I'm not a boy band kind of girl, so I think. But yeah, I would say that, and then "Rollin'" by Limp Bizkit is. Back in the
Yeah, I have like those coin playlists from like Nike or something like that.
Mhm.
So sometimes they have some songs that are pretty questionable as far as the swear words and all that kind of stuff like that.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
could be.
Yeah, if you want the like super X-rated, yeah, there's some like Easy E in my in my playlist. I grew up in Southern California.
Yeah.
NWA was a thing.
Awesome. Okay. Leadership isn't just about mission execution, it's about connection. What's the most memorable non-mission related thing you've ever done with your airmen? Could be hilarious, heartwarming, or even a little chaotic.
So I have two that I can really like pick between the two. I'll say one as a captain. When I was stationed at Hickam, the mission circle group did a partnership with the Ohana Head Start program. So that is preschool or pre-K childcare with low-income families. And so essentially what we would do is we'd host a Christmas party for them, and we would raise funds across the group to fund the party. And then we would ask the teachers for a wish list of things, because they just weren't funded very well. And then we would take that money, and then we would go, like, we had a team like the day after Thanksgiving and went and hit all the sales. And then literally after, we'd host like about 300 kids. Every kid would get a present, do a magic show, we'd get them lunch. And then at the end, as we were wrapping up, we would bring out just these giant bins of school supplies, from everything, pens, pencils, toilet paper, paper towels, just like everything on their wish list that we could buy. And the teachers just were beside themselves. And so there's just really a heartwarming way to give back to the local community and just build partnerships. And just to see the kids, how excited they were when Santa came on the fire truck, and just all the things, right? So that was really fun. And then I would say another running related story. So one of my deployments, so I'm from Arizona, went to Arizona State. So every year the Pat Tillman Foundation does a run to raise money for his foundation. And so every year I would go to Arizona to do the Pat Tillman run. And so one year I was deployed, I couldn't go. So I decided to bring the run to me. And so they do shadow runs across the country to help raise money. And so I was the troop run captain for the team out at Al-Udeid, and had 100, I looked it up today, 125 runners that did the race that day. And we raised a bunch of money for the foundation. And so it was just really cool to see a bunch of deployed folks that get up early, 90-degree weather, and just get out and get after it. And, remember Pat and his legacy, and being able to support that foundation.
That is so cool. During COVID, I did a Army 10-miler virtual, and I was on the Riverwalk in San Antonio, and I thought I was by myself, and I had my shirt on and everything, and it turned out it was like 20 of us out there, just randomly. They were out there doing the thing, so it was kind of connective, because again, that was a time we were kind of locked down, and it was very heartfelt. Yeah, that's super good. Okay, next question. Failure isn't fun, but it is often our best teacher. What is one important lesson you've learned from failure, something that changed how you lead, think, or show up?
I think, as a young officer, people come to you with problems and you're trying to right away, you want to help and you want to engage and you want to help solve the problem right away. But sometimes you're not actively listening to what the actual problem is. Sometimes it's just they want a sounding board, not really looking for you to solve the problem. And so, I ran into a little bit of hiccups. So I think I got a little far ahead of myself because I wasn't actively listening. I was listening, but I wasn't actively listening. There's actually a difference. And so uh, for me, it was a very much of like, oh, I thought I was a great listener, but really I was making decisions and rolling out in my head and what my ABC plan was going to be before I really took the time to really listen of what the issue was and what the problem was. And so once I kind of figured out that that's what I was doing, 'cause I had someone really point it out to me one day, and I was very like just beside myself because I've always been somebody that wants to help. That's how I was raised. Like, whatever you need, I'm here to support you. But really learning what it means to actively listen, especially as you go up and you become a squadron commander, in my current position, it is not, you're not there to solve all the problems. Sometimes you just have to really be in listening mode to provide that left-right boundaries of guidance. And that there is a big difference between just listening and being an active listener.
I like that. I like that. This one's a little bit lighter, but let's shift gears. If you could have a superpower to help you in your current role, what would it be, and how would you use it responsibly? Of course, no turning invisible during staff meetings.
That would be amazing. This was another one I was like, "Whoo." I can think of just off the top of my head. One is to clone myself because I often, I'm not just the 627th Air Base Group Commander. I'm also the Deputy Joint Base Commander for JBLM. So I'm the deputy to Colonel Hankey, who's the Garrison Commander on the Lewis side. And so not only do I have all the Lewis engagements and Garrison meetings, I have my own meetings, and then I also have, I'm a kind of a pseudo MSG to the 62nd and Colonel Regney. So at times there's literally a meeting all on the same day at the same time, and I can't be in three places at once. But I have deputies, so this is where they come into play. But then also like learning how to teleport myself, because if I have to go to the Lewis side, it's about an 18-minute to 20-minute drive, depending on how many red lights I hit. So that's one meeting is 40 minutes of my day just driving back and forth. So I joke of like, I haven't got my helicopter issued yet to take me over. And then I always say, like, if I had a magic wand to have the never ending resources that we need, is that whether that's money or people or you pick your thing. It's just in a resource constrained environment, you always want more resources to help your team out.
Yeah, that's on a joint base. That's a huge task. Trying to play different hats and different cultures and all the things, and trying to finesse those spaces. I'm sure that's a challenge. Looking back, what's one habit you wish you had started earlier in your career? Something that might have saved you time, stress, or maybe a few gray hairs. Yeah,
definitely the gray hairs. I would say learning to have healthy boundaries with work. Because again, you're mission. But learning what is critical mission right now and what is still mission that's okay to leave till tomorrow, and making that time for yourself so that you're able to recharge and take leave, and again, just have that mental break from everything that's going on. Learning to have that boundary so you can have time to have your outlet. Because you're no good to your team, to your airmen, if you're just, your battery is fried, your brain is fried, you're just tired, sick, all the things, right? You just have to learn how to take care of yourself and navigate the mission at the same time. So, like, my team, I tell them, like, on these days, I'm leaving at this time because I'm going to go work out, because that's super important to me. Because if I don't do it, I know that my battery will just deplete immediately. I need that time to go do that. And so just respecting having that healthy boundary to make sure that I'm still taking care of me, because the Air Force needs me to be in my top game. And if I just do mission all the time and I'm not allowed to have that space for myself, then I can't be that person for them.
Yeah, I love that. We talk, in our world, we talk a lot about work-life balance. It looks like you're practicing that and leading from the front, and that's important. And everybody, all of us. And finally, what is one thing that you're most proud of accomplishing, either personal or professional, something that still makes you pause and say, yeah, that matters?
So again, I had like the struggle of like two things. I would say real quick, personally, finishing Dopey, which is it is a race that's at Walt Disney World. They do in January. So what it is 4 days of running. You do a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, and a full marathon, 48.6 miles within 4 days. That I accomplished that in 2019. I still can't believe like I did it, because it was a lot of running. It was a lot of running. But just super proud of myself that I was able to do that and accomplish that. And then I would say professionally, so I was the 89th Aerial Port Squadron Commander out at Joint Base Andrews. And so we do presidential support. And when President Bush died, we obviously all of that happens at Andrews. I mean, Andrews is the ground zero for American history events, right? Yeah. And my squadron is right there out in front, supporting you turn the TV on and there's my airmen working Air Force One, or whatever, foreign dignitary that's come into the United States to conduct business with the president or any of the executive secretaries. And so when the state funeral happened, I mean, you're literally, the entire world is watching. And just to see the team come together, not just from my squadron, but across Joint Base Andrews and all the other agencies supported. I mean, you're right there front and center executing that mission, where we sent a team out to Houston to bring him back to DC to lay in state, and then just everything that happened on Andrews. It was really, really, I was so proud of the team, because when you think about it, literally the entire world is watching this event, and you turn the TV on and you see your airmen just getting after it. I mean, it couldn't be so much prouder than the team.
Wow, that's amazing. I just thinking about that, yeah, because you just see it from a different perspective when you're kind of leading the team. That's really good. All right, okay, Col Henry, thank you for sharing your stories, your insights, and your playlist secrets. It's been a privilege having you on the Resiliency algorithm. Your leadership reminds us that behind every uniform is a human story, and that's why we keep our community strong. To our listeners, airmen, families, civilians, thank you for tuning in. Stay resilient, stay connected, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us on the Resiliency algorithm today. And remember, resilience isn't just about bouncing back. It's about building a stronger foundation to begin with. What insights did you take away from today's episode? Have any topics you want us to discuss? Feel free to share your thoughts and questions through our social media channels. Until next time, thanks for listening, and remember to always analyze with purpose, adapt with strength, and care without limits.